I am from South Carolina, and I have two little boys. I'm married with two children. They are 4 and 7, and I also am a hairdresser at a local salon. So I work part-time, and the rest of the time I'm spending with my family. I started struggling with depression probably, I want to say, a year ago, but I had a lot of problems leading up to that depression. I would say probably 2 years ago is when it started. All of my issues and problems started, the major traumas that started to enter my life. And then the depression set in maybe a year later after those traumas. I had found out that my mother had stage 4 cancer, breast cancer that metastasized to her bone, and that was very devastating to the family. When my mom had her cancer diagnosis is when I started to really feel like things started to spiral out of control. I felt like I was losing control. Felt like I was going to begin to lose my mother. All of the what if scenarios kind of flooded my head. And shortly after that is when COVID hit. And of course that was isolating for all of us, and I was not able to work for 6 weeks or have an income for my family, and that definitely affected me being a very extroverted, outgoing people person, and so having to stay inside and not be able to do a lot of things really did affect me. And then shortly after COVID, I also found out that my dad, through a DNA test, was not my real dad, and that I was conceived from a sperm donor, and I have a lot of other half siblings out there. So this was a very traumatic experience for me and my sister. A very long story and very entangled, but it definitely was something that was a huge shock to me, as I didn't know and found out later on in my life in my 30s of all of this happening. I basically felt like my life was a lie, and I felt like I also lost my identity in a way with all of that. So sitting with all of these things on my plate in such a short amount of time, slowly I started to have marital issues as well on top of all of that. And I just felt like my world was starting to crumble. And the root of all of it was the traumatic experiences that I was going through, and it resulted in just a depression, feeling as if I was just losing control, feeling like I had nothing to live for, nothing to be motivated about. I wasn't motivated to do daily stuff. I wasn't motivated to do anything that I loved. I wanted to sit inside and sulk, and I could barely take care of my children, barely wanted to go to work. And I love my job, but I definitely did not want to work. I really didn't want to do anything at that point. It just definitely was not me. And this is when I started to realize that I was definitely feeling depression. And I went to go see a doctor, and they suggested antidepressants, and so I had gone on them, and they have definitely helped, along with some counseling. I have been in counseling for over a year, and it really has helped me and my family. I would go once a week, and it was a really good thing for me. I would say the thing that really pulled me out of all of this, I'm still struggling still today, but not as badly or poorly as I was struggling. What helped me the most was just being able to get counseling, surrounding myself with friends, and having a little bit of medication in my corner to help fight those blues.
So what I would really want to just say and encourage anybody else that's struggling with this, and to give somebody else some tips that helped me, that could help possibly pull you out of something that you're struggling with along the same lines, is surround yourself with people who love you. Get outside, move your body, get some sunshine. Those are the things that helped me. Talking to somebody, for me it was counseling, and don't be afraid to, I was very anti-medication, and I wanted to try to do it on my own, and didn't believe that I needed medication, and tried to fight it without. And once I broke down those walls and started using medication, it has greatly helped me to get over the hump and be able to live life again. So another thing that also helped me was just being consistent in my prayer life and meditating on good things, making sure that I was also having healthy, positive thoughts, and whether that was through reading and just everyday life, things that you're doing, focusing on the positive, and reading a lot of inspirational books really helped me. I've had several friends come alongside of me to just provide those things for me and be of great help to me. And they definitely lifted my spirits a lot. And I realized that a lot of our society does struggle with anxiety and depression. It is very common and not talked about, and it's something that should be talked about because a lot of people are struggling with it. And so just to know that you're not alone in your struggles, and that we all are facing some sort of, we can all be having some kind of mental health issues. It's very common. So I just encourage you all to have positive thinking. So a wonderful thing that helps me, something that I do very consistently, I joined a gym, and I am there several times a week, and it just really just lifts my spirits and puts me in a good mood for the rest of the day. Just to be moving my body really helps. Even when you don't want to, you just have to push yourself to get moving and get out, because that really is proven to help with depression. I also have for me, lots of light therapy has helped me as well. Just making sure you're getting sunshine and plenty of natural daylight, and not being inside indoors all day will greatly help. And I found that these light therapy lamps help greatly, very significant to boosting my mood, and I will put them in my office or at my workplace, or even in my car on days where I know I'm going to be down, or it's gloomy, or things that contribute to my depression and already add a burden to my depression. So those have helped me as well.
So Lauren and I met when she was doing my hair. She's my wilderness hairdresser who keeps me looking pretty.
Don't judge my hair now. It's my day off.
Just a relaxed day at home, guys.
Yeah.
But we actually bonded one day when I was crying and she was crying, and oh my goodness, what's wrong? Oh, you're having marital issues? I'm having marital issues. You're having physical issues? I'm having physical issues. And I feel like it really just brought us together. We've had a great friendship for about about 2 years now.
Absolutely.
And even though I moved down to Florida, I came up to see her, and we love getting together. And it's just such a blessing because I have to tell you, Lauren is one of those people that you love. She makes you feel relaxed and embraced, and yeah, she's a little bit of drama sometimes, but that's just the Jersey coming out. But we love her.
Yeah, I can be dramatic for sure.
Incredible person and such a great mom. It's been such a blessing to be able to be here with her a couple of days at her house, and
We teach each other a lot.
oh yeah, we're always encouraging each other. Anytime we have a bad day or even a good day, we're constantly texting and calling and saying, hey, let's talk about this, let's talk about that. And I wanted to bring it up because the book that we've been going through together is called The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie. And it is just such a blessing. I think that it's really taught me to not worry so much about things that aren't as important and to focus on myself. I always thought that was super selfish. And I think that as women, we're taught to care so much about everybody else, but we have to really learn to take care of us.
And be there for everybody else, but really, you know, it's okay to love yourself and take care of you first.
Exactly, because if you're not taken care of, then mommy's not there for kids, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, it's better for the relationship between our husbands and us when we can relax.
Yes.
And it's better for the relationship with Lauren and her children, of course. So I encourage anybody who's having trouble with just letting go and caring too much to read that book. It's been very helpful for me.
It's also taught me to not really care or to rely on others for our happiness as well. You know, being dependent on those things. You know, we're in control of our happiness, and we can choose to be positive, and we can choose to focus on the good, and choose to be grateful, and choose to have gratitude. So that's a big thing for me.